Yeah, blasphemy. You can take an African out of Africa, but you can't take Africa out of African.
All those sayings that you find in 85, if your Ori doesn't accept it, it's just not going to happen in your life. Because it's like if I'm like, Makanjuola, I want to gift you this $100 bill, but you're like, no, I'm good, for whatever reason. It's just going right back in my pocket. You're not getting it. So that's how Ori kind of functions. It accepts the advice, or it doesn't. You do the ebo or you don't do the ebo. You follow the taboos or you blow them off. Um, and so it's really up to the person. The majority of the time, it's up to the person. The worst part is just to make sure that he or she does the ebo correctly and make sure all the materials there. That's their part. The rest is really in your hands. It's really in your hands.
So what is it about this part that has control over it?
Because this is where you make your choices from. So when we cast Ifa for people, we tap into their Oriode, into their destiny.
That's
And I always let people know, it's like when I'm cast for someone or for Sopele that I'm casting, like I'm connecting with your destiny. It's almost like you telling me what to tell you.
exactly.
Like I'm reminding you, basically.
Yeah.
So if it's in your destiny to have that really good job, it's like your destiny is like, okay, Agboola, tell Agboola that he needs to follow this advice here. He needs to do this ebo to make sure that that good job that's in his destiny starts to manifest. And if Agboola listens, great. If Agboola doesn't listen, then it just keeps getting passed by. They'll just keep passing him by and passing him by. So it's very possible to have all these great things in your destiny and you not manifest them all while you're here, or miss out on a lot of them, actually. And it's all because of the choices that you're making from here.
This is a deep concept. Okay, so the choices from here,
Mm-hmm.
as I remember in classes, or reading new, is based upon a lot about emotion,
Yep. Yep.
right? So I think what I hear you saying is that if this is where your choices are derived from,
Mm-hmm.
and I might want to see if this is correct too, because we need both of these to be in cahoots. And I remember O'Day is the logical aspect of things.
Mm-hmm.
So if your logic and your emotions aren't in a G phase, so to speak, are not balanced, then you may make the wrong choices and then prevent the blessings that are supposed to be coming. Is that what I hear
Yeah.
you saying?
So the logic is still here too. That's
Okay.
still here. This is like the plan. This is the map. These are all the possibilities that you can manifest in your destinies here.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like, are you making decisions based off of logic and reason? Are they pure emotions that you're going by? Are you
Mm-hmm.
combining the two together, logic
Mm-hmm.
plus maybe a little
Mm-hmm.
feeling mixed in there?
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of times this, um, if I can give you an example, it's almost like, yeah, these are the potentials. These are the potentials up here. But this is what gives you access to them or helps you to manifest them. So if this usually, this is what is usually in contradiction with this. This is set. This is set, and there may be times that you might be able to alter certain aspects of your destiny. Maybe you're just really struggling financially in life, and it could be that maybe in your destiny you forgot to pick to have money and resources in your life, which there are some modus that talk about that. And there's moments that if I might through Ebo, okay, you forgot to pick this. Okay, let's put it in now. But you still have to make those choices to make it happen. You still have to do that Ebo to make sure that that's added in there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but there's a lot of things that are kind of set already. Some things that you can't shift,
Change. Yeah.
and sometimes they're really tough things that you might not want to have in your life or deal with, and so this part is like, no, I reject that. I don't like it. I don't want it. But it's in your
Yeah.
destiny to go through that or to live with that. And they could be positives. They could be positives, but they could be things that you just don't like. You know, maybe I was born 4'10", and I want
Yeah.
to be an NBA basketball player, and like that's probably not gonna work out too well for me. And I can't shift that. It's there. That's who I am.
I remember right after I got initiated, I think it was a year later. Um, and my anger of the Yona situation, right? I was at the initiations helping, and Popola was there, and I went there to talk to Popola about the anger issue, and I asked him, I said, Popola, are you seriously telling me that I gotta forget everything I learned in South Central? Because that's basically where I feel it came from, right? Everything I learned from South Central in order to get past the anger to bring the array of this old dude. He was like, yeah. I said, how? And he was like, he laid back down and went back to sleep. And I was like, okay, this is nuts. Because basically that part right there is the Inu part of the emotion because you've gotten
Yeah.
used to it. It's become a part of your life. It's become a
Yep.
part of the story you tell yourself that this is
Mhm.
how things go. And when someone says that, nah, this ain't it, then you got to react character wise to how you're
Yeah.
going to shift that or keep doing the same thing that's not working.
Exactly.
Okay, with that understanding, why is it that at Bowl, well, let me say this first. Edgy Ogbe talks about um, when we have issues in life, the first order of settling the issue should be going to your parents or your immediate circle of influence to get help
Hmm.
or read. But if that doesn't work, then seek consultation,
Yep. Yep.
right?
Yep. Hmm.
So why is it though in this culture is it that people tend to they skip over that step for the most part and go right to calling you, Baba, can you cancel this for me, please? Like they don't go to their mama, daddy, nothing. They just go right to Babalawo. Why is that?
Well, I, I mean, you probably know, like most of us, I would say a lot of us in this world today, sometimes our parents aren't the wisest, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
they went through their own stuff also. And so sometimes we growing up, we just don't trust our parents for one reason or another. And sometimes it's valid things, reasons why we don't go to them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but in a traditional setting and even in a spiritual setting, and Ifa is like what you said, like if I'm having an issue, I should be able to go to my parents. I should. My mom or my dad or both and ask them, hey, I'm having problems with this kid at school. I don't know what to do. If I say something, then he's going to call me this or that, or the problem might get worse. Or if I tell the teacher, that might put me into more problems. Do I just fight him? How do I
Mm-hmm.
resolve this? So
Mm-hmm.
is usually our parents should be those to go people. Or if it's not them, even our grandparents, it could be uncles, aunts, even your own siblings, especially if you have
Mm-hmm.
older siblings, they
Yeah.
should be able to help out. um but I honestly think it's like, and it's not to say that native folks, indigenous people didn't go through traumas and experience crazy stuff, because I'm sure they did.
Mm-hmm.
But i I do trust that their unity was a lot tighter than probably most of the families that exist today. So
Yeah.
even though everything wasn't perfect, you still had somebody that you could physically go to before you jump to divination or something like that. And that's just my take on it. So and I feel we got to build back to that, so we can start trusting each other and our family to help each other out.
But like you told me in class, like the Irumale select our parents for us.
Hmm.
And usually they select our parents because we need something from them in this lifetime that's going to help us. It kind of reminds me of the movie Friday when Craig had to fight Debo. And before he was fighting Debo, Debo said something to Craig. He said something like, and get knocked out like your father used to, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
his father telling him not to fight. Debo is in front of him. The girl he wants is right there, egging the situation on. Not saying anything, but just out of pressure, egging the situation on. He got to make a decision right there to either do something different than his father did, or do exactly what his father did and walk away.
Yeah.
So basically, with that being said, if we came through our parents, then how will we ever know what we're going to do if we're not able to, even in the dysfunctional situations, because there's a reason why they're there still, right? But even in the dysfunctional situations, how can we possibly learn who we are if we don't ask them the right questions when we're confused?
Yeah. So a lot of times,
Boomerang theory, you want love, then give love. Live your life, don't let them kill your bugs. Like pest inspectors, extract the nectar from wax situations, ancestors, texture. Praying it went through so you can see through the pain, pushing you on to destiny lane. Life is an experience, ain't no need in fearing it. Here's an experiment, go have a collision with fear. Doubt, insecurity, ambiguity,